Welcome to part 3 of the 7 game-changing digital marketing tactics for dentists. I'm doing this series because there's a lot of confusion and a lot of misunderstanding about what works and what doesn't work for digital marketing when it comes to dental practices. I've talked to a lot of dental folks over the years, dentists, office managers, and folks like that, and they tell me XYZ, and I'm like, wow, where'd you hear that? And things like that. So there's a lot of, I wouldn't say misinformation. It's just, there's just a lot of information. And so you could ask a particular question and get 5 different answers for the same question. And if you're not in the industry of doing digital marketing, it could get very confusing for you. So I'm doing this 3-part series. This is the 3rd and final installment. So if you haven't seen the first 2, go ahead and watch the other 2. Not necessary, but very helpful. And in this 3rd part installment, I'm going to talk about social media and paid media for dental offices. And I've already covered website, claim listings, location pages, and reviews, as well as SEO, content marketing, and email newsletter in my previous episodes. So with that, this final installment is going to be on social media and paid media. So let's get started. Welcome to the latest episode of Corner Your Market. I'm your host, Silas Kimide. In this podcast, I talk about all things digital marketing, from website design and development to SEO and PPC, as well as paid advertising, email marketing, social media, and anything in between. If you're a small business owner, a marketing manager in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. So tune in every Thursday at 10 a.m. You'll gain some practical insights, new strategies, tactics, and tools that will help you grow your business. To subscribe, go to corneryourmarketpodcast.com and select the podcast app of your choice. Then you can hit subscribe within those apps. That again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Also, don't forget to like and share our individual episodes. You can also leave a review in the app once you've listened to one of our episodes. So in this final installment of the 7 game-changing digital marketing tactics for dental offices, I'm going to start off by talking about social media engagement. Now, social media engagement, I've been talking about social media since 2007, right? Back then, MySpace versus Facebook was still, it was still a horse race, believe it or not, folks. I remember charts that would get published saying, oh, Facebook is ganging up on MySpace, and then Tom sold, Fox bought, Murdoch didn't know what to do with it, and Tom retired, and then Zuckerberg took over. So that's kind of like the he took the lead and he's never looked back. So social media has come a long ways, and there's a lot of ways to do social media. The fundamental thing about social media is you need engaging content. And just putting up a video and saying, hey, my dental office has a new, receptionist. Nobody's going to watch that. I hate to say it. You probably hired a great receptionist. You probably got a new piece of equipment that is awesome, but nobody cares. I hate to say it, man. You need to make them care is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying nobody cares. I'm just saying you need to make them care, right? So creating informational posts, explaining processes, oral healthcare tips, answers to FAQs, establishing your expertise, making it fun to learn, making it entertaining is going to be very, very important. Now, there's 2 components to social media content, if you really think about it. There's the educational component, which actually has a pretty big market. I like the social media that is educational. I don't know why. I listen to nutritionists. I listen to gym folks all the time about how to do your hip flexors and how to do your back thing and how to do this. I love that content. They make it into really digestible, easy to understand forms. And then there's the entertainment side of social media, right? Which is what the vast majority of people think of when they think of social media, right? Dance videos, people jumping off of cliffs, I don't know. I mean, all kinds of stuff, right? So people getting angry at the cops, or whatever it is, or that one social media. It's not a social media video, I guess. The guy that jumped and lunged towards the judge at his sentencing. I don't know if you guys have seen that one. So there's all kinds of different kinds of content. So decide, I think for a dental practice, the educational part is really, really something that you can really focus on because you have stuff to talk about when it comes to that, right? So, by the way, do you like my new studio? I mean, I got plants and I got new lights and things like that. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. So yeah, we got some plants and we got some lights here, and the studio looks really cool here. So anyway, that just came to me, folks. And if you're listening to me on the radio, on the podcast, you don't know, you have to go to look at the YouTube show, the YouTube page to kind of see what I'm talking about. So educational content, FAQs, making short 90-second FAQ videos, not a bad idea. Oral healthcare tips to maybe make people at ease about visiting the dentist. Those can all be very, very good social media pieces, right? So the key here is to be able to go the distance. It's almost like engaging in social media is like trying to boil the ocean, right? People try to think that they're going to boil the ocean. They're not going to. But if they take a little part of the ocean and they put it in a little bowl and they can boil that, right? So do that. Create a plan because there's burnout, and make it, and maybe get your patients involved. I've seen dental offices do that. I follow several dental offices on my Facebook feed, and I see some really creative things that dental offices do. They've done like promotions with kids, winning Disney tickets, winning all kinds of things, and they put it on social media. Very interesting content, in my opinion. It at least changes my perception of dentistry. It changes my perception of the office. I don't know that it gets me excited to go to the dentist, but it certainly doesn't make it not likely that I'll go to see you, right? So getting patients involved can be a great way to do it. Another set of ideas is behind the scenes. What's it like to come to your office? What's it like? Who are the dentists like? Who are the hygienists like? What are the office staff like? Just making it interesting, though, telling a story, showcasing something that is different, right? Using a combination of videos and stories and things like that. Sharing stats, maybe endorsed by the American Dental Society or something like that. Did you know, FAQs, things like that. I think I've already mentioned that. And then promotions and offers, obviously do well. Limited time discounts, package deals, existing patient referral programs, contests, all things that I've seen people do. But then when it comes to social media, engagement is key. So responding to comments, following other people that will follow you back, very important. Being on there on a regular basis, leaving comments, engaging with DMs, asking people for them to comment back to you, things like that. Very important. And then analyze your metrics. I go through social media metrics for our clients all the time. There are bogus metrics, I'll be honest with you, and then there's real metrics. Real metrics are tied to your goals. What do you want to achieve? And in social media, I would say awareness and engagement is a good metric. It might not result in immediate business, but it means that people are liking what you're posting and are willing to engage with you. And so if they have ways of finding you, getting to your website, making that phone call, they will do it. That's just a leading indicator that something's going to happen, right? So tracking your followers, engagement rates, click-through rates on your call to actions, very important. And then looking at your metrics to determine the best times to post, best time to refine your content and all that kind of stuff. Very important, right? So social media is the number 6 game-changing digital marketing tactic for dental offices. Now, as we wrap up, I'm going to talk about the 7th one. And the 7th one is actually such a big one that I've done multiple podcasts on this already. And I might redo it because we got some new lights and a new plants here. I might redo it because I just want you guys to experience that again. But paid media is the number 7. Paid media is PPC, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, and things like that, right? It's a whole different topic. and there's a lot to it. So I'm going to try to cover just the high level version of it so that it gives you a good idea of where to get started and things like that. If you want to learn more, you can always go back to my content archive and look up my Google Ads podcasts and learn more that way. Or you could also contact me and I can get that to you. So paid media, specifically PPC. I have worked with dentists, dental offices who have been doing PPC for 5 years, and they're averaging in that 5-year campaign, they're averaging between 60 and 75 new patients a month on a fairly modest budget. Okay. So I know I'm good, but PPC, when done well, is really good. So, and I say I'm good because I'm on my podcast. I feel like I'm talking to myself. I need to entertain myself by saying things that may not be agreeable to everybody. So that's just my style, my humor. Not a lot of people like my humor, but my wife does. And that's what's important to me. So paid media. I got off track there. Paid media, PPC. So to get PPC to work really well for you, it's all about your hyper-focused targeting, right? You cannot win the internet. You cannot get everybody in your area to see your ad unless you have billions of dollars, millions of dollars, right? So hyper-focused targeting means you geo-target your ad at a certain time for certain, like bids. That way you are really, really focused on who's going to see this and how they're going to react and how much you're going to spend. So in order to do that, you really need to know your audience, right? So for most dental offices, 7 to 10 mile radius around their office is where 80% or maybe 70% of their patients come from, because most people will not drive more than 10 miles to see a dentist. I don't know. Maybe in Montana, where people live so far apart, or South Dakota, where there's just way too much space, maybe they'll do it over there. But in most areas like where I've worked, Phoenix, LA, San Diego, Denver, Salt Lake, those kinds of cities, I would say on average, people don't drive more than 10 miles to see their dentist. So which means that if you put a 7-mile radius on your targeting, you're going to hit most of the people that you want to get, right? So you've got the geo-targeting down. And then on top of that, what's important is finding the times where they're going to your audience is most likely going to respond, right? I had one dentist, he was starting out his practice and he wanted to go after the emergency dental care folks. People that maybe woke up on Saturday morning after a hangover and they're hungover and their teeth is hurting like crazy and they can't remember what happened to it. Well, maybe not that specific. But what I'm trying to say is your teeth has been bugging you all week. You're busy at work. You don't know what to do. Saturday is just like killing you, man. And you go online and you do a search and boom, this guy's ad would show up and he would actually see patients on Saturdays. So that's a way of targeting, right? You don't have to advertise all through the week, which can be very expensive. You can target Friday night, Saturday night, maybe Friday night through Sunday afternoon, if that's your business model. It might not be your business model, but if it's your business model. One guy also noticed that he did really well with Invisalign and he wanted to push Invisalign. So that's all we did was we just promoted Invisalign, hyper-focused Invisalign to a 7-mile radius. We're available 24/7. I forget the message details. Invisalign, that's all we did. Invisalign, nothing else. Worked. Very hyper-focused, focused on the time, focused on the geography and all that kind of stuff, right? So in order to be really good at hyper-focusing your campaigns, you need to, A, know exactly who you're going after, and B, you also need to know your competition, right? Saying the same things like everybody else is not going to get you a different result. It won't. That's a modified version of that insanity rule. So you need to know your competition. Do some searches on your devices and look at what your competitors are advertising. What are they promoting? What language? What keywords? You don't have to do it. Doesn't have to be hours and hours long. Just one day, do it for 10 minutes in the morning. Another day, do it in the afternoon. Another day, do it in the evening. And then do it on a Saturday. Do it on a Sunday. See what people are putting out there. You don't need a lot of data points. Take screenshots. That way you can reference it later. You can study it. That way you can figure out, well, what is maybe the hole in the market? What is the one part where they're missing it? Or maybe one part that I do very well and I need to maybe, I can focus on that, right? So that's that leads to the third part, which is after you've done some soul searching on who you are and you've done some competitive research, then you can really focus on writing your copy, getting your landing page and your message right. That's a tough time. That takes a long time. I mean, you should devote some time to that because these are paid clicks. You're going to pay anywhere between $15 to $25 a click. And that person that comes to your site needs to be able to, you need to get their attention. You need to convert them, right? The difference between a 5% conversion rate and a 25% conversion rate is in your landing page copy and your ad copy. And if you can do that, the ROI differential on that is enormous. I mean, the math just shoots through the roof when you look at that. So specializing your ad copy, specializing your landing page copy, speaking to your audience, hitting exactly what it is that they want can mean you could have a 20% conversion rate, and that could mean a lot more business for you. So specialized ad copy. Then the other one is take advantage of all of the features that these platforms give you, right? So when you go into Google Ads, there are a lot of options. There's such things as site links, there's extensions, there's location links, there's image links, there's reviews links. There's all these things that you can add to your ad as features. Take advantage of them, right? Make sure that you're tracking. Make sure that your reviews are getting pulled in. Make sure there's site links that maybe if they do a search for your brand name, they see the copy, but they also see options to see your services and see your other things like your contact information and things like that, right? So take advantage of it. And there's a lot there. So I know you guys are busy folks, but get somebody that's a professional to do this part. To be honest with you, every dollar you spend with them is going to come back to you. It's going to be worth it. So now the other thing that you need to keep in mind is the targeting and demographics and interest. More so on the Facebook side, because Facebook has a lot of interest targeting and demographic targeting, as well as interest targeting in there. So you can target by income levels, their related interests, like do they subscribe to dentistry magazines? Do they, whatever it is, maybe you're targeting families. So maybe families that like Disney, whatever, you can think in very creative ways of targeting. And the more you target, the better your ads will perform. It's just the way it is. And guys, the AI tools, I'm actually speaking on AI tomorrow at a conference, or on Thursday at a conference. The AI in marketing, it's out of this world. They were talking about how when Apple said that they were not going to pass on tracking data to Facebook, everybody was worried 2 years ago that Facebook's tracking was going to go down the tubes and it was going to be awful. Well, they doubled up and invested in AI. They know so much about people already that they were actually able to get their ad platform to perform better than when Tim Cook allowed them to track their users. So there you have it. Targeting is just that good on Facebook. And, it's just like we are giving voluntary information to Facebook. Like people will ask me, how does Facebook know? I'm not telling them anything. I just look at Facebook, or I just make a few updates every once in a while, right? So think about it. If you post a picture of your kid's birthday party, right? Just that one singular event, You posted a picture of your kid's birthday party. Now, what does Facebook know about you now, right? Facebook now knows you have a kid. They know the location. They know the time. They know the date of the party, right? And they also can scan the pictures and see who's in there, right? And if that person is also on Facebook, boom, they know that, oh, that's your wife, right? That's your kid. That's your third kid. That's your sixth kid. They can know all that kind of stuff, right? Then they can look at your clothes you're wearing and go, oh, this guy's a cheapo. He doesn't shop at, XYZ. He shops at, secondhand stores. They know all that information. So just one picture being uploaded to Facebook gives them that much information about who you are. So that's how much information there is. So as a business, let's take advantage of that. Let's take advantage of that and fully use all of the targeting and demographic information and everything that Facebook offers you, right? And also for Google, do the same thing. And then on the Facebook side, not so much on Google because Google doesn't allow pictures on there, but use graphics and visuals that really stand out. I don't know if you remember that one visual. I still remember it in my head of the guy with 4 eyes with the glasses jumping in back and forth. I don't know if you ever saw that. I saw that in my feed for months. It always caught my attention. I was like, what am I looking at? Am I looking at a guy with 2 eyes or 4 eyes? And why does the glass go back and forth? The glasses go back and forth. Anyway, use attention-grabbing visuals, right? Striking images and videos of smiling patients, treatments, soothing clinic visuals, something that kind of stands out, not generic, standard, I don't know, stock photography. You know what I mean? Use my picture if you want, I'm a stand-up guy. So anyway, use attention-grabbing visuals, have a clear call to action in your ad copy, in your ad and things like that. Book a cleaning, schedule your appointment, book a consultation, whatever it is, make it clear what you want them to do, or talk to our office staff or whatever it is and things like that. And that'll kind of help you. Like I said, I feel like I'm not doing a lot of justice on this one because there's so much in this tactic. And I'm trying to keep it at a high level. I've gone into so much detail on this particular issue, this particular topic and other podcasts that I'm just gonna have to push you there. So, and then finally, take advantage of retargeting ads. Retargeting is where they might see your Facebook ad and then they might go to a news site and they see your ad there as well, right? Or they've been to a different website and then when they come to Facebook, they see your ad there as well, right? I can't tell you how many times that's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to you. It's called retargeting, remarketing. I think Google calls it remarketing and Facebook calls it retargeting. Regardless, same concept. Use it. I recommend allocating about 5 to 10% of your monthly budget towards retargeting or maybe remarketing. It's well worth the investment. It brings people back. It reminds them. It reinforces your message. Follow the same principles, have attention-grabbing visuals, clear call to action, great communication on that, and that should kind of get your ad to perform at a high level. Like I said, I have doctors' offices, dental offices that get 60 to 70 new patients a month using paid media. It works. When I ran the ROI for one of our dental offices last year, I think they were getting a 450% ROI on the campaigns we were running for them. So like I said, if it's not working for you, it might be because you're not working with the right vendor or you're not thinking things through, something like that. Just go through my list, read through my blog posts, listen to my other podcast, tweak your strategy, tweak the way you're doing it. And I don't see any reason why, as long as you have a decent budget, why you can't get 60 new patients a month and get 450% ROI on your paid media campaigns. So with that, we came to the end of the third episode here. So this is part of my 3-part series. I'm sure you're getting really tired of me saying that, but this is my 3-part series on the 7 game-changing digital marketing tactics for dental offices. In for a quick reminder, the 7 tactics are website, claim listings, reviews, SEO content marketing, email newsletter, social media, and paid media. So with that, this wraps up my 3-part series, and I wish you the best. Happy marketing.
If you're a small business owner, a marketer in a company, or an entrepreneur, this podcast is for you. You'll become better educated and informed when it comes to digital marketing. And if you implement the strategies, tactics, and tools I discuss in this podcast, your business will grow and prosper. To subscribe, go to corneryourmarketpodcast.com. That again is corneryourmarketpodcast.com. You can also search for Corner Your Market in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcast, or wherever you get your podcast, and you can subscribe through those apps. Also, don't forget to like and share our individual episodes. You can also leave a review. Finally, I would love to hear from you, so if you have any questions, feedback, or general comments about the topics I discuss, feel free to send me an email. I will be sure to share and discuss your feedback on the air if it will benefit our listening audience. You can write to me at connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Just put listener comment in the subject line. That email again is connect@corneryourmarketpodcast.com. Thanks for listening. I look forward to being back next week. Until then, be good and do good.